Metro Detroit.
Yes, I've got about 17 years as a union member in several different unions, but I am also the co-founder of the Michigan Freedom to Work Coalition, and recently I've pretty much become the face of the movement. And I want to bring to light some things that it doesn't appear that you seem to be aware of. Number one, we were talking about the tents that were being torn down. And those weren't just any old tents. Those were safe houses and sanctuaries for people that wanted to voice their opinion, that wanted to show support for their legislators, but it was also there to protect people in your profession. On Thursday afternoon, during the governor's press conference, one of your colleagues was nearly trampled because she had the audacity to try to interview me. A reporter for WJIM was knocked over, her tripod was knocked over because union protesters at the front of the building did not want me to be able to share my opinion. So they shouted me down, and that was fine. I told her don't worry about it. But the people wanted to get at me, and they knocked her down in the crowd, and someone had to grab her and pull her away and get her up against the building. With this tent, the safe haven tent that was here, we had people in your profession that were able to interview both sides of the issue. You were protected if you walked into that tent until the front corner came down on the tent the first time when a reporter and a photographer from Channel 4 News out of Detroit was inside. I also want to point out to you that where you're standing now is very close to where we were standing in front of the tent. And if you look over here about 45 yards, you see a stairway leading into the end of the building. Just by chance, because of my size, I'm able to see over the crowd of the mob that was pushing in against us, the mob that was throwing beer cans and rocks, the mob that was swinging sticks at the people here. And there was about 25 union members that were standing on those stairs over there. They had an elevated view. I could see them. I made eye contact with them, and they saw exactly what was happening. They saw assaults on free Americans by other Americans. The reason I know they're union members is because they're all wearing blue shirts and they had guns strapped to their sides. They were Lansing city cops. A friend of mine who was a 67-year-old man with heart problems fought his way through the mob that was trying to get into the tent and knock the tent down. Once he got through, he went over there and asked them to step in 20 minutes before the tent came down, and they laughed at him. Now you tell me what country we're living in. Is this Yemen? Is this Nicaragua? Or is this America? I am not free and I am not safe because I don't believe in what the damn cops are believing in. What the hell is going on here? I have a bumper sticker on the back of my truck that says, I love my country, but I fear my government. And this is a perfect example of what I fear. I don't go along with what they believe, and so I'm not safe because of it. Now, I want to see an investigation to find out why that was allowed to happen, why they watched these crimes in progress, and they did not fulfill their responsibility to protect my constitutional rights. This is absolute tyranny, and it's anarchy. And I also want to point out another thing. These 100-pound propane tanks are bombs waiting for a fuse. There was a number of people, I know of 5 different people that were carrying concealed weapons, and they had the license to do it. They've had specialized training. They know when and how, what is required to legally brandish that weapon and use it, to use lethal force. You must be able to prove in a court of law that you were in fear for your life or great bodily harm. You saw what happened on the video, and I guarantee you, if you had those mobs coming at you, you were afraid for your life. Those propane tanks had 100 pounds of fuel in them, and an errant shot from a terrified victim that was being beat on or something on the ground. If one bullet hit one of those tanks, it's going to blow that, and it's going to kill hundreds of people instantly. That could have been prevented because those cops saw what was progressing and escalating 20 minutes before this tent came down. I want to see action on this. Those people were guilty of a dereliction of duty. There's security tapes in the cameras, and I want to see something done. Again, my name is Tim Boss, and that's B-O-S.
Thank you.